This is Stay Steady, Stay Ready. I'm Charles E. Rayborn III, and wherever you're listening from, welcome to the journey. Before we go any further, I just want to say thank you. There are thousands of podcasts people could be listening to right now, thousands of videos they could be watching. And the fact that you decided to spend even a few minutes here with me genuinely means a lot. So thank you for being here. Thank you for giving this journey a chance. Now, let's open the diary. Last week, we opened the diary. Tonight, we'll turn the next page. This is the diary of a sailor. And what we're going to do is sit it down here so we can have the reading. When we finally returned to Japan after being out near the waters surrounding Hong Kong, I remember trying to convince myself that maybe what we saw out there had some ordinary explanation. Maybe it was distance. Maybe it was darkness. Maybe it was the ocean playing tricks on tired eyes. Japan looked the same when we returned, but I didn't feel the same because deep down, I knew something about that night felt different. I didn't tell everybody. I didn't walk around trying to convince the whole ship. I told only one person, a friend of mine who was like a brother to me. We had been through a lot together by then. Long nights, deployments, laughter, life. The kind of friendship where you don't have to explain every silence. I trusted him. And after I told him what happened, he became very quiet. Not the kind of quiet that means somebody doesn't believe you. The kind of quiet that makes you wonder if they understood more than they wanted to say. Now that we've opened the diary, let's bring the room back to steady. A character people love to hate still has to believe they're right. You know, one of the things I've always found fascinating about storytelling is this. Some characters disappear the moment the credits roll, and others stay with us for years, sometimes forever. And it's interesting because when people think about memorable characters, they usually think about the powers, the costumes, the action scenes, the catchphrases. But honestly, I don't think that's what makes people stay with us. I think what stays with us is humanity. It's the flaw, the fear, the regret, the sacrifice, the thing they're trying to hide, the thing they're trying to overcome. Because real people are complicated, and the best characters usually are too. Some of the most unforgettable characters in film and television weren't memorable because they were perfect. They were memorable because they felt real. They reminded us of someone we know, or maybe someone we used to be. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that stay with us the longest. Not the explosions, not the big speeches. Sometimes it's the hesitation before someone answers, the look on someone's face after loss, a person trying to stay strong when they're falling apart internally. Those moments matter because people connect to emotion before they connect to spectacle. Sometimes it's the character who smiles in public but breaks in private. Sometimes it's the hero who looks strong to everyone else but still questions if they're enough when nobody is watching. Sometimes it's the villain who truly believes they're saving the world, even while destroying it and everything around them. That's what makes characters stay with us. Not just what they can do, but what they're carrying. And honestly, I think one of the biggest mistakes creators make today is trying too hard to make characters look impressive instead of making them feel human. A memorable character doesn't always need to be the strongest person in the room. Sometimes the most unforgettable characters are the ones still trying to figure themselves out while carrying the weight of something difficult. That's human. And honestly, I think contradictions are what make characters believable. Someone can be brave and still terrified, confident and still lonely, kind and still dangerous, strong and still broken. That's life. And maybe that's why certain stories stay with us long after they end. Because deep down, we recognize pieces of ourselves inside the people we're watching. You know, during my years in the Navy, I met people from all kinds of backgrounds and walks of life. Different personalities, different fears, different strengths, different ways of carrying pressure. But the people I remember most weren't always the loudest people in the room. Sometimes they were the quiet ones. They were ones carrying something invisible. The ones trying to hold themselves together while still showing up every day. The ones who could laugh with you 1 minute and disappear into their own thoughts the next. And honestly, those are the kinds of people that often inspire the best characters. Not perfection, humanity. So maybe the real question isn't, how do you create a memorable character? Maybe the better question is, how honest are you willing to be about what it means to be human? And before we go tonight, I want to ask you something. Who's a fictional character you never forgot? And why do you think they stay with you? Was it their strength, their pain, their choices, their silence? Or was it because, in some strange way, they reminded you of yourself? Drop your comments and drop your answers in the comments below. And if this episode gave you something to think about, I'd be grateful if you will like, comment, share, and subscribe. Every Monday, we will open another page. So join me on the journey. Share it with someone who loves stories. And come back next Monday. Until then, I'm Charles E. Rayborn III. Stay steady, stay ready. Ciao.